Okay, I don't want to disappoint you, but I have no toppers today. Sorry to disappoint all of you. Well, I would say first, the U.S. military is one of the best militaries in the world. What we're basing our assessment on is both our intelligence assessment and the assessment of our military experts, who have been, of course, in touch with their counterparts in Ukraine and our NATO allies and partners. And what they assessed was that adding aircraft to the inventory is not likely to significantly change the effectiveness of the Ukrainian Air Force relative to Russian capabilities. The Ukrainian Air Force has several squadrons of fully mission-capable aircraft, and although Russian air capabilities are significant, their effectiveness has been limited due to Ukrainian strategic, operational, and tactical ground-based air defense systems, surface-to-air missiles, and manpads. And so the other detail is, how are we going to continue to provide assistance that is helpful to them and most effective and most useful to them in this moment? And the assessment of our military has been that continuing to provide defensive assistance and materials in that form is what is most useful and effective at this point in time.
The Vice President expressed support for a war crimes investigation into Russia. Why at this point isn't the United States comfortable just directly labeling the bombing of a maternity hospital as a war crime?
First, let me say, the bombing of a maternity hospital is horrific. It's barbaric. I don't think anybody who saw that could not have been emotionally deeply impacted. There is a legal review process that the United States undergoes to make considerations of labeling something as a war crime. That is the ongoing process that we're pursuing at this point in time. It's ongoing. Obviously, if Russia is intentionally targeting civilians, that would be a war crime, but we need to go through the legal assessment and review in order to make a formal conclusion.
What steps would the administration consider to take in more refugees now? I know some advocacy groups have talked about, for example, admitting Ukrainians who already have pending visa applications as refugees. Are there steps that the White House, the administration, would do now to admit more in the United States?
Well, there are steps which are not exactly related to refugees, but related to the Ukrainian population, including temporary protected status, which we announced and are granting for anyone who has been here since March 1st. In terms of additional steps, the reason why it's important to note that we think it's not just many, the vast majority of refugees we believe will want to stay in neighboring countries in Europe, where many of them have family, many of them have worked, many of them have friends and others. So that is our assessment. That is why we are continuing to provide humanitarian assistance to neighboring countries who are who are welcoming refugees from Ukraine, who are providing them the assistance they need in this moment of time. And that's where we feel our efforts are best focused. So we will clearly continue to monitor all of the risks and the impact. I'm happy to check on that. I would say, again, I don't know what the numbers are in that regard, but all of our assessments from communicating with the Ukrainians, with neighboring countries, continue to be that the best way that the United States can contribute to this refugee crisis is by providing humanitarian assistance, funding to a range of countries who are welcoming refugees. So that's where our focus has been. We will continue to focus. It's a top priority for him, but in terms of the strength and stability of the economy,